How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good, man.
Case, what sold you on this opportunity to come here?
Oh, I mean, playing football. I mean, I love playing football. I'm basically a big kid. I've never had to grow up. But to be honest, I was pretty close to being done after last year and being hurt and tough situation. And the Bears called and come up here and meet with Ben. It's supposed to be a 15-minute meeting, and felt like a couple hours later, I'm like, this is a special place. Watch Caleb from last year and was like, holy cow, this guy's really good, and he's got a chance to be a lot better. And just it's been great. It's been so much fun coming here and playing and being a part of that quarterback room and an offense, and working with Ben and Deck and JT and Press, and obviously with Caleb and Tyson and Austin, those guys in that room. It's been really special for me. I'm enjoying it.
You was to be a guy for
Mhm.
So what has excited you about the early stages of that relationship and what you think you could give him at this stage of his career?
He's a sponge. For being an all-world talent, a guy who's obviously since high school, been the best player on any field anywhere he's ever stepped on. To be humble enough to ask me questions and watch and learn has been really refreshing to see a guy that young and that talented, but still, take to me what I have to say. It's been really fun.
Spent a couple minutes with him in here talking about last week and the report that came out about or 2 weeks ago that he wanted to go play for the Vikings. How have you seen him handle that fire over the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I don't really. I don't really read a whole lot about what goes on, and so I'll let him talk about all that. I really couldn't tell you. I've from the inside, from what he's done with the team. I mean, I don't see any distractions or any difference in who he is and how he acts. Leader on and off the field, I'm very impressed with who he is. So I couldn't tell you anything that came out. So I wouldn't noticed if you guys hadn't asked, or maybe one or two things. I maybe seen something, but.
Want any assurances that you could compete to be the number 2 coming here? Not even a little?
I mean, I'm competing my whole life. I show up every day and hope my locker's not cleaned out, man. That's how I treat every day. I compete against myself, compete against the guys in that room. I compete against the defense we're playing that day, today, and then every day. I've competed my whole life, so I have a knack of sticking around and being ready to go when my name is called, no matter when that is or how that is. So I'm impressed with that whole room. Caleb, obviously, I've already talked about him, but I think Tyson's going to play a long time in this league. I really do. He is very athletic. He's trained and he is hungry. I mean, he's one of the most well prepared guys on that field every day. So I'm very impressed with him. And Austin, I see a lot of myself in Austin. A young guy that just needs a shot and is hungry. Doesn't get a ton of reps, but man, makes the most of them when he can.
Do you have a connection with Ben Johnson at all, or anyone else on the staff?
I mean, when you played as long as I have, and you've been around enough coaches that we had a bunch of kind of couple of degrees of separation, and I've talked to a bunch of guys about him, and I think he did the same about me to some of those same people. So yeah, we had some connections, but no, I'd never really worked with him in the past.
You talked about you watched some of Caleb's film before you ended up coming here. What were some of the things that you saw that immediately you were like, if he makes this small tweak, he's going to take this next step?
I mean, what jumped out immediately was just effortless arm talent. I don't know if I've seen a guy do that as a young guy. But just being able to take sometimes what defenses give you and not make this crazy big off schedule play, letting those plays kind of come to you. And I think he found some spots of that last year, and he's settled into this offense and how Ben sees it, and trying to get on the same page with him and Press and Deck and JT, trying to all come out of that quarterback room and seeing the defense the exact same way as the play caller has been. So, what we're trying to accomplish and how we're trying to accomplish it, along with the footwork, the operation before the snap, defense recognition, all those things combined with leadership. So, just it's quarterbacking. I mean, it's an art and it's a science and it's all of that combined. And there's 100 ways of getting the ball down the field. But in the end, I think there is some common threads, some common themes of being a pro quarterback, what it means day in and day out, showing up here, being ready to do your job. And, that's representing himself, his family, an offense, a coaching staff, the team, an organization, and a city like Chicago, where it was such a storied tradition of players and coaches and really sports teams. It's incredible that he's got a chance to do that, and he's going to do it for a long time.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that initial meeting with Ben and why it went from 15 minutes to 2 hours and some of the specifics of why you started feeling the way you did?
When you get two guys that love ball as much as like that in the same room, we could have met for a long, long time. We think about football very similarly. We have a lot of the same philosophy when it comes to how to attack, how to play quarterback, play calling, schemes, and there's some things that we don't agree on too at times, but those are fun discussions to have and see how they go. But it was great. We talked about everything. Family man, kids coming in, moving in, where to live, how to, what schools and all that fun stuff. So it was good. It was a good conversation. I really like him as a person, as a coach, but even more as a person.
What have you seen from him in terms of the early stages of him putting his fingerprints on this team and coaching with kind of that edge that he has?
He's demanding, and I love it. I love it. He will not let you show up with anything but your best every day, and that's all the really good coaches I've been a part of have been that way.
Case, I know that you said you didn't know much about the book that came out. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you.
Me too. But Caleb just kind of shot down the notion about that he, didn't know how to watch film or nobody was watching film with him during his rookie season. I imagine that it's the intricacies of knowing what to watch for are so much more complex going from college to your first year in the NFL. Can you think back to your rookie season and just how you learned how to do it at the pro level and probably how much more proficient you are now from 2012? Yeah,
I say rookies don't know what they don't know, and it's just kind of the way it goes. We come from a similar offense. I think Lincoln took the the air raid or whatever we ran at Houston and made it his own, and obviously kind of a branch off of that and has done tremendously well with it. For me coming out, I didn't know the difference in base and sub defense. I didn't know that you could take a play and then go to the other hash and run that same play backwards. It blew my mind. We ran everything right-handed in Houston, and not to say that we weren't really good. I mean, one of the most prolific college offenses that's ever been, but that's just the way we ran. We ran it fast, we ran it up-tempo, and we were going to just do what we did better than anybody else, and didn't matter what defense is out there. The NFL is a little bit differently in how you can think about personnel groups, huddling, operation, play calling, all of the above that you just don't know what you don't know sometimes, and it's just a daily process of us adding more tools to your tool belt until you look up and Caleb's been here 10 years with Ben, and so many different plays they've run together that they're speaking. Don't even have to speak, that they know each other's thinking at times. I could see that happening.
Have you ever considered a future in coaching? You sound like you have willingness to teach. Has that been a thought for you at all?
It has. We'll see. You can ask my wife about that one.
Well,
Case,
on
what's
that
it,
topic,
what-
on that topic, there's already been a couple mentions, including from Ben today, that you've been able to spend some time with Caleb, that the coaches aren't fully allowed to spend the same amount of time just because of the rules. How have those interactions, meetings with him come about and gone so far?
Yeah, it's tough. The schedule is what it is, and that we can talk all day too about PA and union stuff and trying to figure out off-season schedules and what's best. But If we're practicing and going against a defense, there's in the NFL you have to spend time on your own studying and being prepared and being ready. So as a part of that, showing up early and being ready to go, and man, he's beating me in the building. Like that's the type of guy he is. He wants it that bad, and getting little extra walkthroughs with the guys, meeting with the guys. I think I'm missing, a little extra film study right now. That's just the guys grabbing each other and hey, let's go watch a few plays from 7-on-7 today to talk about this different choice route. How we run this type of route with this type of leverage and this type of coverage. So yeah, it's been a lot of that, which has been fun. It's just talking ball. It's getting to know each other. That's what the spring is for. I think first of all, getting to know each other and speaking the same language, but then getting into the weeds a little bit of how to play quarterback and what that looks like.
What's it, what's it been like having an offensive coordinator who almost a decade younger than you, and what have been your impressions of Declan?
You had to remind me of that one. Huh?
Don't worry, we're the same age.
Yeah, I noticed Declan likes to grow his beard out to look a little bit older. I try to shave to look a little bit younger. So, yeah, it's funny to think about some of those things, but I forget about it. I mean, that dude is sharp, and he's like our resident fact checker. I mean, just knows the offense inside and out, and he's been here like a month or two. Like, just a very sharp guy. I've got a ton of respect for him. I mean, he got an incredibly bright future, but I'm really glad that we get a chance to have him in our room daily with his knowledge and his background, who he's been a part of and been around. A guy like Drew Brees that, and Sean Payton and that connection that they had, man, just watching from afar. I used to study Drew Brees every year in the offseason, watch all his film and try to be just like him. So, yeah, I've really enjoyed working with Dak.
When you were with the Texans, you were in a quarterback room with Stroud when he had one of the great rookie seasons ever by a quarterback. Was there anything you learned about quarterback development from seeing that, or what role you got to play in helping that along?
Yeah, I mean, I could probably talk all day about that as well. CJ's a special player, and yeah, he did stuff as a rookie. I don't know if I've ever seen any quarterback do, and I think honestly, probably should have been more in contention for the MVP that year if he wasn't a rookie and it hadn't taken people by surprise. I think he would have been more in the discussion for MVP, not just offensive rookie of the year. That's how special I think that young man is. I learned a lot. I learned that it's really fun to lead from behind, not necessarily be the one out in front, but helping support the guy who's leading in front. So, among a lot of other things, but that was pretty special to do. Cool, thanks guys.
Montez, it was obviously you was dealing with something last year on the health side. You being out here is positive that you're probably 100% past that now, but you go back to it. What was it, and then how much do you think it actually hampers you as you continue to show up and got the week for the guy?
I mean, I don't really dwell on it too much. Football is a game, not if you're gonna get hurt, but win. So you got to deal with those type of things and just move forward. So I'm sure that won't be my last injury. So I'll just be ready for that when it presents itself again.
Tess, what have been your earliest impressions of Dennis Allen and what he wants to do defensively?
Yeah, he's a very complex individual. He has a lot of fronts and schemes and things that he can attack the offense with. So yeah, he's a great guy. Smart.
How do you think Fields handled the last couple of weeks? This report comes out about him wanting to play for the Vikings before he got drafted and to turn into a little bit of a firestorm.
Yeah, we don't get into all that stuff in the media and all that type of stuff. We understand where that comes from. So, but yeah, he ain't seem no different to me. Same old Caleb.
So there was never a moment where he had addressed it with the group and said, "Hey, sorry," or anything like that?
Not that I know of, no.
You were thinking about it for a second. Why is complex the word that comes up when you think of DA?
Well, I mean, I'm saying I'm trying to learn a new defense right now. So it presents its challenges, different fronts, different blitzes, different coverages and things like that, and it's just more than I had to learn in the past. I would say so. He's definitely a little bit more complex than DCs I had in the past. So.
Ryan Poles told us in January that, like, I guess it might have been your exit interview. You guys had a conversation where he said you expressed some disappointment in yourself from how this last season went. What was that conversation? I guess, like, what was the tenor of that conversation?
Yeah, it was just us basically just going over the season, how I do every year with the GM and the head coach. It was just going over the season.
What disappointed you about last year?
We did make the playoffs. Just some of my personal goals that wasn't met. Yeah, it was just a disappointing year.
He also said at that point, and there was obviously Dio comes in free agency, they had Grady Jarrett, that putting more talent up front was going to be a priority. Seeing how the team addressed the D-line, how do you feel about that?
I'm excited. Yeah, adding new talent on the D-line, every year you get new guys and new personalities and things and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm excited what the year has to offer.
I would say it's early, but what has Grady brought to that room, you know, both off the field and how do you expect he'll bring it on the field? Because obviously that pressure in the middle should probably help you out, I would imagine.
Yeah, he's brought a lot of leadership and experience to the room. He helps out the young guys a lot. He's also kind of played in this type of defense before that some players haven't, including me. So he's helping out in that aspect too. So yeah, Grady's a big help right now.
Montez, I know you guys are still getting to know the coaching staff, but are you already sensing that they're bringing in the right energy, or there's a sense of buy-in in the room that the culture is going to change the way that you guys feel it needs to?
Yeah, I definitely feel like we're on the right track. You can do all the hooting and hollering before the season and all that type of stuff. It all comes down to what's happening on Sundays. Are we winning? Or are we losing? So we'll bring the judging board out there.
What's expected out of you in this defense that's different from the specific defense you played under Flus?
I don't know. I don't think much has changed. Football is football. I'm just probably playing from another alignment or from another stance. But at the end of the day, I was brought here to affect the QB. That's what I intend on doing.
A couple of the guys have talked about it as an attacking defense. Like, how does, for a defensive lineman, it feels like that would always be the case because you're trying to get to the quarterback. Is there any sort of, you say you might be at a different alignment, like what's the shift like for you in being in this attacking defense?
Can't comment really. It's just football is football. I've always felt like defense is just an attacking thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Montez, this time of year is optional. Why is it important for you to be here?
Yeah, like she was saying, coming off of a disappointing year, I thought it was important to be here.
Was there ever any point, maybe before Ben got hired, that you kind of had thoughts of this was kind of turning out like Washington?
Say it again.
Was there ever any thought in your mind that maybe before Ben got hired that there was a here we go again situation like in Washington where it just did not go well for you and kind of wanted to move on?
No, I don't think about Washington too much. No, it was never a point.
Grady said that Javon put together those workouts y'all did down in Miami. You showed up. Why do you think that was important? But also, what do you think it said about Dex that he put that together?
Yeah, Dex is he's a leader on the D line. He's a leader on this team. He's actually from Florida, so it was kind of convenient for us to come and meet him down there. And I just thought it was important because just meeting your new teammates, letting them just developing that chemistry and all those type of things. It's important.
Last season, you guys struggled to stop the run, especially towards the second half of the year. What kind of changes has DA brought in? Of course, the talent that's been added that you think is going to affect stopping the run more positively this season?
We're going to see. We understand that we got to stop the run and rush the passer. Everybody likes to rush the passer, but you got to stop the run first. So that's definitely a big emphasis in this defense, and that's what we plan on doing.
We heard Brisker quite a lot today. Just, I know he had a pick and he's very loud, and it's just having him back out there. Do you notice that when you're there? The energy that he brings to this defense?
Yeah, Brisker brings a lot of energy on the field, off the field. He's just an energetic guy. So you kind of hear him anywhere, any area he's in.
What do you know, you mentioned coming off a disappointing season, like what do you individually do January, February, March to put that behind you?
And just do the things I need to do as far as training, rehabbing, and studying my film and all that type of stuff. So just put myself in the best position to have a better year.
Do things like that linger though, like mentally, or are you pretty quick to turn?
I mean, I guess you can you definitely use it as motivation. Knowing that you didn't have the as good as year as you wanted to or could have. So yeah, it's in the back of my mind, but I'm sincerely just moving forward, working on what's next.
Thank you guys.
Thank y'all.